I started looking at who was coming against me, who was going to stab me. After all, I was just a boy, you understand? And you know how lucky I was. I saw the man facing me. He was almost 2 meters tall, with large facial features. His face was distorted in a terrible grimace, either from fear or something else. In my opinion, he was even a little drunk. His mouth was twisted, and from there, saliva was dripping down to his chin. On his chin, it had already gathered and was even hanging in strands. Such a terrifying face. As a boy, I was scared. I completely forgot that I also had to stab him, that I also had a weapon in my hands. When we got close as you and I are now, he suddenly made a movement with his rifle, trying to stab me with the bayonet attached to it. But instinctively, like a child, without thinking, I grabbed the barrel of his rifle and pulled it toward me with a jerk. He lost his balance and fell. At that moment, I remembered that I had a carbine in my hands, but I didn't know how much force was needed to stab a person. It was all new to me, so I used all the strength I had as a boy and struck. But when I did, the front sight of my carbine slipped between his ribs and came out the other side. I couldn't pull it out. I just couldn't. Then another German ran up to me. When he saw what had happened, he turned and struck me with the butt of his rifle. But all of this happened in just a few seconds. He hadn't expected it. When he hit me, I felt my teeth move. I could feel them right here. But then my comrade, Andrei Gordeev, came to my aid. He got in the way, killed that German, and helped me pull out my carbine. Then another German approached and, not realizing what was happening, swung and punched me with his right hand. To be honest, that hit brought me back to my senses. I clenched my jaw and didn't let go anymore. I didn't cry out or drop anything. After that, I was just afraid that another blow would knock me down. But I made it through to the end of that hand-to-hand battle, and I learned something. Stabbing a person doesn't take much effort. From then on, I fought differently. I barely had to move my arm, and the enemy was already falling. That's when I realized how little it actually takes to kill a person, how little is needed. But what can you do? Hand-to-hand combat is hard to describe. In reality, everything happens so fast. Your mind works at an incredible speed, analyzing the situation, showing you the whole picture, and telling you what you need to do to survive. It's hard to explain in words. It all happens in a split second. You see the situation unfolding before you, and the decision is already there in your head. You just know what to do, whether to shoot, stab, or dodge. It's an extraordinary feeling. Anyone who has ever been in hand-to-hand combat remembers it for the rest of their life.